It is time once again to talk some Miami football. We bring in Alonzo Oliver. He is Alonzo1219. You can catch him on YouTube with the U family. Alonzo1219. Check him out right there on YouTube for the best in Miami football coverage. Miami undefeated still after another close one. They took on Georgia Tech at home last week and squeaked it out. Alonzo, how you doing tonight?
I'm still on alert for them to, hit me with the paddles to unshock my heart. So I'm still on alert right now, but I'm fine because we're 5-0.
I bet. So, I saw some of your video right after the Georgia Tech game, and you made it through. Heart palpitations and all. 25-24. So you got down by 2 scores and battled back. I know it was 24-13 at one point, and it didn't look good, especially when you add up the clock situation when Georgia Tech has the ball and how much time they're going to eat. It limits the possessions. You only have so many chances to come back in a situation like that. But MarkRogersTV and company were able to do it.
Yeah, they were able to. The defense break in the first half gave up 17 points to that offense, which is pretty good. They held the #1 running back in the nation, which is their quarterback, to like 40 yards rushing. And I think he got like 200 and something against Tennessee. So they were able to shut him down. You're not just going to shut that offense down. Kind of hard to just stop it because they hit you from so many different ways. But I was impressed once the defense settled down at the end of the first quarter, going into the second quarter. I was very impressed at what they were able to do. And they did what I expected them to do, not give up a bunch of points. And they only gave up 17 the whole game. So, and actually, I think it was – I think they scored – the only touchdown they scored, I think they scored in the second half with their kickoff return. So they shut them down, shut them out, and did what they were supposed to do on the defense side of the ball. So I was definitely impressed with that.
Are you typically the type, Alonzo, that comes away from a game like that against an opponent that's a good, solid opponent, no question about it, a fringe top 25 type program and team this year, and think, wow, we survived, we made it, that's a W, that's all that counts. I'm going to take away the positive that we played in the clutch, that we made the plays when we had to, even though we dug a hole, and I take that positive away from survive and advance kind of mentality? Or do you look at the concerns that, okay, we made it through, but we only made it through by 1 point. We're going to play some better teams coming up. Certain things need to be shored up before we take on the likes of Notre Dame and some other teams.
Those are my concerns. I'm not with the I did a video the second day and I got a little bit of criticism. I got a little bit of, people applauding me for calling it how I see it. I'm not that blind fan that's gonna, just report the good and say, oh, we're all good in La La Land. That's not what I do. I feel like, and I said it on my last video, I feel like Mark Richt has to get better at play calling. I hear, certain things about, certain guys not being in certain routes and this and that. I've seen coaches do more with less. And I do believe we have a lot of talent on offense. I just believe that, so he hadn't called plays in a long time. Last year was the first time calling plays in probably about 8, 9 years. To do a job, and you want to be the play caller. So ultimately, the responsibility falls on you for these continuous slow starts. And it's continuous, and it can become a habit. It can become contagious. And what can happen is, and what I look at is, our defense isn't going to always be able to bail us out. So you have to adjust. You have to get faster starts. We got teams coming, like you say, Notre Dame. They're going to score points. They may score points. Our defense is good, but we're getting hurt. We're getting more and more hurt every week because we're on the field more. We stand on the field. These 3 and outs have to stop. You got to sustain some drives to give your defense a break. You have to score some points so your defense doesn't have to be balled out the whole game. They have to be able to bend a little bit, So football is give and take. There are 2 sides of the field. If we keep winning 21-17 games and stuff like that, your defense has to be great. Less than 20. You're a top defense in the nation when you're giving up less than 23 points a game and your offense isn't scoring. Football has become a scoring, even Alabama has to score points, and I'm very concerned about the offense and the play calling right now. I am as a fan and as a blogger,